The room was silent, except for the faint hum of the air conditioner and the steady ticking of the old wall clock. Jason sat on the worn-out couch, eyes fixated on the strange figure before him. It wasn't every day that an alien guest decided to stay in your home, yet here it was, standing awkwardly in the corner, observing Jason with wide, unblinking eyes. Jason had long stopped asking how or why the alien had ended up in his basement. It didn't matter anymore. The truth was stranger than any sci-fi novel he'd ever read. The alien, whom he had quietly named Zan, was not just visiting. Zan was learning. And now, Zan was about to cross a line Jason never thought possible. Jason felt a mix of curiosity and dread bubbling in his chest. The last few days had been surreal. Zan had observed human life like a silent student, asking questions in his own odd, unspoken way. But today, things felt different. Zan moved forward, and Jason could see his delicate hands twitching nervously. Then, without warning, Zan reached out and touched Jason's arm. "I want to understand." Zan's voice echoed in Jason's mind, calm but urgent. Jason swallowed hard. He understood, but this was beyond anything he was prepared for. Zan was about to test the most intimate, most human of experiences, reproduction. Not just by observing, but by trying it himself. Jason's breath hitched. His mind raced. Could this be safe? Could this go wrong? Before he could protest, Zan's form shimmered, glowing softly, as if drawing energy from the very air. The alien's body began to change, skin shifting colors, patterns glowing faintly like a living circuit board. Jason felt a strange sensation ripple through the room, a subtle pulse, almost hypnotic. Then it happened. Zan attempted to mimic human biological processes, experimenting with Jason's own body to understand reproduction firsthand. The alien's touch was cold but deliberate. Jason's skin prickled with a mix of fear and fascination. Suddenly, Jason felt a sharp pain deep inside, like an electric shock pulsing through his veins. He gasped and stumbled back, clutching his chest. Zan's eyes widened, not with malice, but with confusion. "Not like this," Zan's voice whispered in Jason's mind. Jason's heart pounded wildly as he realized something was wrong. The alien's experiment was causing unexpected changes inside him. Something was stirring, something unnatural. He looked up at Zan, his voice shaky. "What's happening to me?" Zan's expression was unreadable, his alien features contorting. Slightly in frustration. "I don't know," Zan admitted, voice low. "This is different." Jason's mind reeled as he felt his body shift subtly, as if a foreign presence had begun to rewrite his very biology. His skin tingled unnaturally, and for a moment his vision blurred. It was as if the alien's experiment had opened a door to something new, something neither of them could fully comprehend. Panic rose in Jason's chest, but the alien's calm demeanor somehow steadied him. "We must monitor," Zan said. "No harm intended." Jason nodded, though the uncertainty gnawed at him. What if this experiment changed him forever? What if he was no longer just human? As the hours passed, Jason noticed subtle shifts. His senses sharpened, colors brighter, sounds clearer. But alongside these gifts came an eerie coldness in his bones, a reminder that this was no ordinary change. That night, Jason lay awake, thoughts racing. The alien guest he once regarded as a mystery had now become an enigma intertwined with his own existence. The boundaries between human and alien had begun to blur, and somewhere deep inside, Jason knew this was just the beginning. Cliffhanger. As dawn broke, Jason felt a strange stirring deep within, a presence growing stronger by the minute. He glanced toward Zan, who was silently observing him, eyes gleaming with a secret only time would reveal. Jason woke up with a start. The room was bathed in the pale blue light of early morning, but something inside him was different. He couldn't shake the feeling that his body was no longer entirely his own. He sat up, heart pounding, as he remembered the events of the previous day. The alien experiment, the strange pain, the surreal transformation that had begun. The alien Zan was already awake. He was sitting calmly on the floor near the window, staring out at the waking world. Jason noticed the soft glow still faintly shimmering around Zan's skin, the patterns flickering like a heartbeat. "You're awake," Zan said without turning. Jason nodded slowly, trying to steady his breath. "Yeah, I don't know what's happening to me. I feel different. Strange." Zan's eyes finally met Jason's. A look of concern and curiosity mingled in their depths. "Your body is adapting. The process has begun." Jason frowned. "Adapting to what? What process?" Zan sighed, a sound that was more felt than heard. "The reproduction test triggered a biological change. My species integrates with hosts differently than humans. Your system is reacting to an alien influence. It is unprecedented." Jason swallowed hard. He felt an odd sensation, a pull deep inside his chest like something alive was stirring. "I don't feel sick," Jason said, "but it's like parts of me are waking up and I'm not in control." Zan nodded slowly. "It is normal to feel confusion and fear. Your biology is experiencing foreign genetic coding. Your body is rewriting itself." Jason's mind raced. "Rewriting? What does that mean? Am I becoming something else?" Zan shook his head. "Not something else, but something more. Your DNA is merging with mine, a hybrid state. It is necessary for the experiment to succeed." Jason's eyes widened. "Hybrid? You mean I'm turning into a mix of human and alien?" Zan's expression softened. "Exactly, but it is complex. The changes will affect your body, mind, and emotions. You must learn to control this, or it will consume you." Jason looked down at his hands, trembling slightly. The skin seemed unnaturally smooth, veins faintly glowing beneath the surface. He flexed his fingers, noticing an increased sensitivity. Every nerve alive with electricity. "What happens if I can't control it?" Jason's voice was barely a whisper. Zan stood and approached him, resting a calm hand on Jason's shoulder. "Then you become lost between worlds, neither fully human nor alien, a danger to yourself and others." Jason's heart sank. The reality of what was happening was more terrifying than he had imagined. The alien experiment wasn't just a scientific curiosity. It was changing the very essence of who he was. For the next few days, Jason experienced strange physical and emotional shifts. His senses sharpened dramatically. Sounds that were once background noise became crystal clear. The rustle of leaves, the distant call of birds, even the faint hum of electricity from nearby devices. Colors appeared more vivid, almost glowing with intensity, but alongside these gifts came unexpected consequences. His body temperature fluctuated wildly. Some moments he felt icy cold, other times burning hot. Strange dreams plagued his sleep. Visions of distant stars, alien worlds, and a mysterious figure beckoning him forward. Zan remained calm and patient through it all, acting as both guide and observer. "You are adapting faster than I anticipated," Zan admitted one evening. "Your species' resilience is remarkable." Jason gave a weak smile. "Feels more like a curse most days." Zan's gaze held sympathy. "Change is never easy, but it will prepare you for what lies ahead." Jason felt overwhelmed by the mystery surrounding him. Despite Zan's presence, he felt isolated, trapped inside a body that no longer felt entirely his. One afternoon, Jason decided to visit his old friend Lisa, a biologist, who had always been fascinated by the strange and unexplained. He hoped she might offer some scientific insight or at least a comforting explanation. Lisa's eyes widened when Jason described the symptoms, the heightened senses, the shifting temperatures, the strange dreams. This sounds beyond anything human biology can explain, Lisa said cautiously. Have you seen a doctor? Jason shook his head. I'm afraid this is something no doctor could understand. It's alien. Lisa leaned back, eyes thoughtful. If it's alien, maybe you should be careful. Sometimes things that seem like gifts can be dangerous. Jason nodded, feeling the weight of her words. Yeah, I'm scared I'm losing control. Lisa reached out, gripping his hand. You're not alone. We'll figure this out together. Back at home, Jason's transformation accelerated. His muscles grew stronger yet more flexible. His reflexes improved, and he began to intuitively understand things he never had before, like sensing emotions in the air or anticipating events, moments before they happened. But the alien presence inside him also brought confusion. At times, Zan's voice echoed in his mind, guiding him, warning him. Other times, Jason felt a dark urge rising, something primal and alien that fought against his humanity. One night, Jason woke, gasping, drenched in sweat. He saw his reflection in the mirror, his eyes glowing faintly, an eerie blue light radiating. Beneath his pupils, "What's happening to me?" he whispered. Zan appeared silently behind him. "You are becoming more like us. The experiment is reaching its critical phase." Jason's voice shook. Critical phase. What does that mean? It means you will soon face a choice, to accept this change fully or to resist and risk losing yourself. Jason's heart pounded. The alien guest who had entered his life quietly was now a force he could not ignore, and the experiment wasn't over yet. Days later, Jason noticed a change in Zan too. The alien who had been patient and distant was becoming more emotional, even vulnerable at times. One evening, Zan confessed, "I never expected to feel this. You have awakened something in me, a connection I thought impossible. Emotions, curiosity, attachment. You are not just a subject anymore. Their relationship shifted, no longer just host and experimenter, but two beings learning from each other. Yet beneath this fragile bond lay an unspoken tension, the unknown consequences of the alien reproduction experiment and what it might mean for them both. Then came the day Jason discovered a hidden truth, a fragment of alien DNA embedded in his cells that began to replicate rapidly. Jason stared at his hands, now pulsing faintly with an inner light. "Is this a part of you? Am I carrying your legacy?" Zan nodded solemnly. "It is both a gift and a curse, a seed for something new." Jason felt a mix of fear and awe. What had started as a strange encounter was becoming a transformation beyond imagination. He was no longer just human, but something new, caught between two worlds. Cliffhanger: one night Jason awoke to find Zan missing. In his place was a cryptic message carved into the wall, a warning that the next stage of the experiment was about to begin, and nothing would ever be the same. Jason woke to an empty room. The soft glow that usually surrounded Zan was gone, and the alien guest, his mysterious companion, was nowhere to be found. Panic gripped him instantly. He scanned the house frantically but found no sign of Zan. The strange message etched onto the wall just hours ago burned bright in his memory. "Prepare yourself. The next phase has begun." The words, carved deeply into the plaster with an otherworldly precision, sent chills down Jason's spine. He didn't know if it was a warning or a threat, but it was clear. Whatever had started with the reproduction experiment was accelerating, and he was trapped in the eye of a storm he couldn't control. Jason's heart pounded as he tried to piece together what had happened. Zan had been calm just the night before, speaking about the critical phase ahead, but now silence and an unnerving sense of urgency. He paced the room, his senses still heightened from the alien DNA merging. Inside him, Every sound, every shadow felt amplified, as if the house itself were alive and watching. The warmth of his glowing veins was both comforting and frightening, a reminder that he was no longer just human. Jason pulled out his phone, hoping to call someone, anyone, for help. But the screen flickered, then died. A strange interference filled the air, making technology useless. He was isolated, cut off from the world. In desperation, he decided to explore the house. Maybe Zan had left clues or returned somewhere secret. As Jason moved through the rooms, he noticed strange symbols faintly glowing along the walls, the same eerie blue as his eyes. They pulsed softly, like a heartbeat. The symbols formed a pattern that seemed familiar, but he couldn't decipher. Frustrated but curious, Jason pressed his palm against the nearest symbol. A sudden jolt surged through his body, and the room shimmered like a mirage. Suddenly, Jason was no longer in his living room. He was somewhere else, a world beyond. Jason found himself standing on a barren alien landscape under a twilight sky, streaked with unfamiliar constellations. The air was thin and cool, carrying a faint hum of energy. Massive structures, unlike anything on Earth, towered in the distance, pulsating with light. He realized this was no dream. This was a projection, a vision, or perhaps a doorway into Zan's world. A figure approached, tall, slender, with glowing patterns on their skin like Zan's. The figure's eyes held both kindness and sadness. "Welcome, Jason," the figure said, voice echoing in his mind. "You have crossed the threshold between worlds." Jason swallowed his fear. "Where am I? What is this place?" "This is my home, the place where your transformation began, and where it will be tested." Jason looked around, awe mingling with dread. "Why me? Why choose a human for this experiment?" The figure's gaze was steady. "Because your species possesses something rare, resilience, emotion, potential. The fusion of our kind with yours could change the course of both worlds." Jason's mind reeled. "Change? What kind of change?" The figure's expression darkened. "A new evolution. But evolution demands sacrifice." Suddenly, the ground beneath Jason trembled and the sky darkened. An ominous roar echoed through the landscape. Jason's heart raced. Was this a warning? A test? The figure nodded. "You must prove you are worthy. The experiment will push you to the limits of your humanity and beyond." Before Jason could respond, the vision shattered, and he was back in his living room, gasping for breath. Returned to reality, Jason fell to his knees, overwhelmed by the experience. The symbols on the walls were fading, but the message was clear. This was not just about biology. It was about survival, a battle for his soul. He looked at his hands, now glowing faintly with alien light. The hybrid inside him was growing stronger. The experiment wasn't just physical, it was spiritual and mental. Suddenly, his phone buzzed. To life, a message from an unknown number. "Trust no one. They are coming." Jason's blood ran cold. The arrival the next day, Jason sensed something or someone watching him. Shadows flickered outside his windows, and strange sounds echoed in the neighborhood. His heightened senses caught distant footsteps, whispers in languages he didn't understand. Zan was still missing, but Jason wasn't alone. As night fell, the atmosphere thickened with tension. Jason knew the experiment was drawing others' attention, and that those forces might not be friendly. He decided to seek answers from Lisa, hoping she could help decode the cryptic warning. When Jason reached her house, Lisa was waiting anxiously. "I got your message," she said, eyes wide. "Something's wrong, isn't it?" Jason nodded, explaining everything. The alien DNA, Zan's disappearance, the warning, and the mysterious message. Lisa listened intently. If they're coming, we need a plan. This is bigger than us now. Jason agreed, but felt the weight of uncertainty pressing down. The alien hybrid inside him throbbed with power and danger, the hunter's shadow. That night, Jason was jolted awake by a loud crash downstairs. His senses flared. He grabbed a baseball bat, heart hammering. Creeping to the window, he saw a figure, humanoid but with unnatural movements, shrouded in dark armor that shimmered with strange technology. The intruder's eyes glowed red, scanning the house. Jason's breath caught. This was no ordinary enemy. The figure moved stealthily, avoiding the security lights. Jason knew this was a hunter, sent to capture or eliminate him. He tried to call Lisa, but again his phone failed. Trapped and vulnerable, Jason's hybrid. Nature surged, adrenaline mixed with alien energy flowing through his veins. With a roar, he rushed outside to confront the hunter. Clash of worlds. The hunter turned as Jason approached, eyes blazing with menace. "You are the experiment," the hunter said, voice distorted electronically. "You must be terminated." Jason's fists glowed with blue energy as he struggled to harness the alien power coursing through him. The battle was fierce and desperate. Punches that shattered concrete, energy blasts that lit up the night sky. Jason fought not just for his life, but for the future of two species intertwined. Despite the hunter's strength and advanced tech, Jason's hybrid instincts gave him an edge. Reflexes sharper than any human, resilience beyond belief. With a final surge, Jason struck a powerful blow that sent the hunter crashing through the fence, disappearing into the shadows. Breathless, Jason knew this was only the beginning. New allies. The next morning, Jason returned to Lisa's house, bruised but alive. "I need to find Zan," he said, determination burning in his eyes. "We can't fight this alone." Lisa nodded. "Maybe my contacts can help. There's a network studying unexplained phenomena. They might have answers." Together, they began planning, preparing for a fight that was far bigger than either had imagined. Jason's transformation continued, but so did his resolve. The hybrid inside him was no longer a curse, but a weapon. A chance to bridge two worlds. As the sun rose, Jason realized one thing. The alien reproduction experiment had only just begun, and the real battle for humanity's future was yet to come. Cliffhanger. Suddenly, Jason's phone rang. The screen displayed Zan's name, but the voice on the other end was not the one he remembered. A distorted, urgent message crackled through. "They're closer than you think. Trust no one. The countdown has begun." Jason's heart pounded as he stared at the glowing screen of his phone. Zan's name flickered above the distorted voice, sending a jolt of hope and dread crashing through him. The message was urgent, fragmented, and terrifying. "They're closer than you think. Trust no one. The countdown has begun." The line went dead before Jason could respond. His hand trembled as he gripped the phone tightly, the alien glow from his veins pulsing rhythmically. A heartbeat intertwined with something far older than humanity itself. "Lisa," he called, turning quickly toward the living room, where she sat with her laptop open, researching. "I just got a message from Zan. She's alive, but she's warning us. There's a countdown." Lisa's face went pale. "A countdown? To what?" Jason didn't have an answer. All he knew was that the danger was imminent and time was running out, unraveling the mystery. The last few days had been a blur. Zan vanished, strange symbols appeared, and Jason's hybrid powers grew. Stronger. Now, with the countdown looming, every second felt like slipping through his fingers. Jason and Lisa spent hours poring over every bit of data, from cryptic alien markings to Zan's last known messages. They reached out to Lisa's network, a group of scientists and enthusiasts who specialized in unexplained phenomena and alien encounters. One of them, Dr. Miriam Ross, a geneticist with an interest in xenobiology, responded with a theory. "Jason," she said during a video call, "your transformation isn't just biological. It's a key, a genetic marker that activates something within you. The countdown might be related to a larger event, an awakening or a gateway." Jason frowned. "A gateway to what?" "To an alien agenda," Miriam said carefully. "You're part of a reproductive experiment, yes, but it could be tied to colonization or evolution. We don't know yet." Lisa looked worried. "How do we stop it?" "We don't," Miriam replied solemnly. "Not yet, but we can prepare." The arrival of the Watchers that night, the skies over Jason's town shimmered unnaturally. Strange lights appeared, hovering silently like watchful eyes from another world. Jason felt the alien energy inside him surge, matching the pulse of the lights above. Suddenly, the house trembled, windows rattled, and an unearthly hum filled the air. Jason knew the Watchers had come. Outside, figures cloaked in dark armor moved swiftly through the shadows. These were not the hunter he fought earlier. These were different. They communicated silently, using strange devices that emitted bursts of light. Jason and Lisa hurried to secure the house, barricading doors and windows. But the Watchers were relentless. A sharp knock echoed through the front door. Jason's heart jumped. "Who is it?" A distorted voice answered. "We come in peace, but you must come with us." Jason glanced at Lisa. Neither trusted this invitation. Before he could respond, the door burst open. Captured Jason fought fiercely, using his hybrid strength and alien reflexes. But there were too many Watchers. They subdued him with a strange, shimmering net that suppressed his powers. Lisa screamed as they dragged Jason away, but she was powerless to stop them. Inside a sleek alien ship hidden in the woods, Jason was strapped to a cold metal table. The Watchers surrounded him, their red eyes glowing ominously. One stepped forward, a tall figure with sharp features, her skin shimmering like Zan's but colder, more distant. "I am Commander Lyra," she said. "You have been chosen for a great purpose, Jason." Jason spat defiantly. "I'm no one's experiment." Lyra's eyes softened briefly. "You will learn that your choices affect more than just you. The countdown will change everything." Zan's secret revealed. Suddenly the ship's lights dimmed, and a hologram flickered to life. Zan's face appeared, fragile but determined. "Jason," she whispered, "I'm sorry I left you. I had to protect you." Jason's throat tightened. "Why? What's happening?" Zan's hologram shifted, showing images of their home planet, a world devastated by war and genetic decay. "Our people are dying," Zan explained. "We sought refuge on Earth to save our species through hybridization with humans. But there are factions here who want to use this power for control." Jason clenched his fists. "And the countdown? It's the moment when the hybrid DNA activates fully. If it completes, it will unlock abilities that could save or doom us all." The choice Jason's mind raced. The experiment wasn't just about reproduction. It was about survival, power, and destiny. Commander Lyra stepped closer. "You must decide. Will you embrace your hybrid nature and help us rebuild, or reject it and face extinction?" Jason looked at the glowing veins on his arms, the alien power rising within him. He felt the weight of humanity and alien legacy intertwined. "I won't be a pawn," he said firmly. "But I will fight for both our worlds, on my terms." Lyra nodded slowly. "Then prepare yourself. The countdown is almost over." Back on Earth, Lisa left behind. New time was running out. She contacted Miriam again. "We need a way to break the countdown," she said urgently. Miriam studied the data. "There's a failsafe. Something in Jason's human DNA that can override the activation. But it's risky." Lisa nodded. "Do it." The final hours back on the ship, Jason's hybrid powers surged uncontrollably. He struggled to maintain control, his emotions a storm within. Zan's hologram faded, but her words stayed with him. Trust no one but yourself. As the countdown reached its final seconds, Jason made a choice. He focused on his human heart, on the people he cared about, on the fight ahead. With a powerful roar, he shattered the restraints, energy bursting forth in a blinding light. Cliffhanger. The ship trembled violently as alarms blared. Outside, the watchers prepared for battle, and in the distance, Earth's skies darkened with an approaching fleet. Jason stood, ready to face a future where humanity and aliens collided, where survival meant embracing both light and shadow. Jason stood in the center of the alien ship's control room, his body still glowing with the surge of hybrid power he had unleashed. The once sterile metallic walls trembled around him as the ship shook violently from the alarm's warning blasts. Outside, the Watchers, once his captors, were preparing for a full-scale attack. His mind raced, memories of Zan's hologram and Commander Lyra's ultimatum spinning through his thoughts. There was no longer time to hesitate. His human heart thumped fiercely inside his chest, fighting against the alien energy that threatened to consume him. For the first time, Jason understood that he was not merely a bridge between two species. He was the key to their survival or destruction, the arrival of the fleet. Suddenly, the ship's viewport flickered and widened, revealing a vast fleet of sleek, ominous spacecraft hovering in Earth's atmosphere. Lisa stood near the communications console back on Earth, watching the live feed from her drone camera. The tension was suffocating. "Jason, they're here," she whispered, her voice trembling. "They're coming for us," Miriam said grimly on the video call. "And for the hybrids." Jason clenched his fists. "Then we fight." An unexpected. Ali, just as the ship's internal alarms screamed a warning of incoming boarding parties, a sudden surge of power cut through the chaos. The ship's doors exploded outward, and Zan stepped in, alive, real, and more powerful than ever. "Jason!" she cried, rushing to his side. "They're here to finish what started centuries ago." Jason looked at her, eyes wide with disbelief and hope. "What changed? Where have you been?" Zan's face hardened. "I escaped their grasp. I've been gathering allies, others like us, hybrids who can fight back." Her words ignited a spark inside Jason. He wasn't alone. The boarding as the enemy forces swarmed into the ship, Jason and Zan fought side by side. Their hybrid abilities amplified each other, Jason's strength and Zan's agility creating a deadly dance of survival. Lisa monitored the battle from Earth, coordinating with Miriam and the others to support Jason remotely. "We have to disrupt their communication systems," Lisa said urgently. "If we can isolate the ships, we might turn the tide." Miriam nodded, sending commands to the drones swarming the fleet outside. Betrayal. Within, in the midst of the battle, a chilling revelation hit Jason. Commander Lyra had been playing a deeper game all along. Hidden cameras revealed her communicating secretly with the invading fleet. "She's betraying us," Jason realized. "She's been working with the enemy." Zan's eyes flashed. "We have to stop her before she destroys everything." Confronting Lyra, Jason and Zan tracked Lyra to the ship's command deck, where she awaited them with a cold smile. "You don't understand, Jason," Lyra said. "This war isn't about survival. It's about control." Jason stepped forward, fury burning in his veins. "You're willing to sacrifice everything for power," Lyra shrugged. "The strong survive, the weak perish." With a sudden blast, she attacked, unleashing a storm of energy. Jason dodged, countering with his own alien strength. The battle was fierce, pushing Jason to the limits of his hybrid abilities. The power within as they fought. Jason felt the alien DNA inside him evolve, responding to his will and emotions. He realized the key wasn't just in strength, but in balance. He needed to embrace both his human compassion and alien power, focusing inward. He centered himself, allowing the energies to harmonize. With a powerful burst, he overwhelmed Lyra, disarming her and forcing her to surrender. a fragile victory. With Lyra captured, the invading fleet faltered. Miriam's drones disabled their communication arrays, fracturing their coordination. Jason and Zan stood victorious, but exhausted. "Is it over?" Zan asked, her voice weary. "For now," Jason replied. "But this is only the beginning." A new purpose. Jason knew the countdown wasn't just about survival. It was about transformation. The hybrids were the future, a new species born from the union of Earth and the stars. But with that came responsibility. He turned to Zan and Lisa. "We have to prepare, not just to fight, but to lead." Lisa nodded. "We need to build trust with humanity." Zan smiled softly. "And teach them that survival means unity." The lesson, as dawn broke over the horizon, Jason reflected on everything he had learned. The alien guest who tested human reproduction had opened a door to a new world, one filled with mystery, danger, and hope. The path ahead was uncertain, but one thing was clear. Humanity's strength was not just in its genes, but in its heart. Jason's journey was far from over, but he was ready to face whatever came next. Cliffhanger. Just as peace seemed near, a mysterious transmission echoed through space. A voice older than time, promising revelations that would change everything once more. The stars above Earth flickered faintly, like distant candles burning in an endless cosmic night. Jason stood on the rooftop of a quiet building, the cool wind brushing his face as he gazed upward, feeling the weight of what had transpired and what was yet to come. The hybrid revolution had begun, but the universe still held secrets darker and deeper than he had imagined. The mysterious transmission. The strange transmission, received just hours after their fragile victory over the invading fleet, pulsed through every communication channel in the hybrid network. It was a voice, ancient, resonant, and filled with an otherworldly calm. "Children of Earth and stars, you awaken. Your journey is only at its dawn. To survive, you must understand not just your past, but the future you choose to create." Jason, Zan, Lisa, and Miriam gathered around the communication console, eyes wide with a mixture of fear and wonder. "Who is it?" Lisa asked. "No name," replied Zan, "but this voice, it's unlike anything I've ever heard. It speaks of truths beyond our wars." Jason's mind raced. Was this some kind of cosmic guide, a warning, or a new enemy cloaked in mystery? The revelation of the ancients in. The following days, the transmission grew clearer, guiding the hybrids to a distant star system, the origin of the alien DNA. Mingled with human genetics, Jason, Zan, and a small team boarded a hybrid vessel, powered by the unique fusion of Earth technology and alien bioenergy. The journey was long and fraught with unknown dangers, but finally they arrived at a massive, ancient structure orbiting a dying star. Inside, they discovered a library of living knowledge, holographic archives detailing the history of the ancients, a species that had seeded life across galaxies, including Earth. The ancients had designed hybrids as a means to evolve beyond the limitations of their own kind, to unite different worlds in harmony. The true purpose of hybrids. Jason listened intently as the holograms revealed the hybrids were not accidents or experiments gone wrong, but the next step in cosmic evolution. They were designed to bridge gaps, biologically, culturally, and spiritually. But the ancients had disappeared millennia ago, leaving their creations to struggle alone. Jason felt the enormity of this responsibility settle on his shoulders. He was no longer just a survivor. He was a potential leader of a new era. Internal conflicts and doubts. Despite the revelations, not all hybrids shared Jason's hope. Some viewed their existence as a curse, a forced evolution they had not chosen. Discord brewed among their ranks, threatening to tear the fragile alliance apart. Zan confided in Jason her fears. Will humanity ever accept us? Or will they destroy what they don't understand? Jason paused, looking out at the stars. We have to show them we're more than what they fear. A plea for unity back on Earth. Jason and his team broadcast a message to all humanity. He spoke openly about the hybrids' origins, their struggles, and their desire to coexist peacefully. The world reacted with a mixture of awe, fear, and hope. Scientists debated, politicians argued, and ordinary people wondered what this meant for their future. Jason's message was simple but profound. Our strength lies not in our differences, but in our unity. The last threat, just as the message began to resonate globally, a new danger emerged. From the shadows of deep space came an ominous fleet, descendants of the ancients who believed hybrids had corrupted their original purpose. They demanded the hybrids submit or be eradicated. Jason faced a choice: fight to the last breath or seek a new path of peace. The final battle and sacrifice. The battle was fierce. With the fate of two species hanging in the balance, Jason led the hybrids with courage and compassion, but the enemy's power was overwhelming. In a final desperate move, Jason used the hybrid power to create a massive energy barrier around Earth, protecting the planet but trapping himself and the invading fleet in a temporal stasis. Zan, Lisa, and the others watched helplessly as Jason's form faded, becoming one with the stars. His sacrifice bought time, a chance for the hybrids and humanity to build a better future. Epilogue: a new dawn, years passed. The hybrids integrated into society slowly but steadily, guided by the ideals Jason had championed. Zan became a leader, teaching harmony between species. Lisa continued her work, bridging worlds with technology. The message Jason left behind echoed. Through generations, we are not defined by where we come from, but by what we choose to become. Underneath the vast cosmic sky, humanity took its first true steps into a broader universe, no longer alone, no longer divided. The lesson Jason's story was a testament to the power of empathy, courage, and unity. It showed that fear of the unknown only leads to destruction, but understanding and acceptance can create new beginnings. The hybrids, born of two worlds, became a symbol that diversity was strength and that the future belonged to those brave enough to embrace change. Bishi end.